What's happening, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode number 2 of Shred Your Body. My name is Jesse James Jamnick, and I am here with a very special guest tonight, Miss Laura Hernandez. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Thank you for being here. And I'm super excited to talk to Laura tonight because Laura, she is a nutritionist. She's a nutrition trained person. She went to school for it. Right, it was Nova Southeastern University. Is that correct? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So I know you've done that. You're a #1 best-selling co-author. You're somebody who's, how long have you practiced nutrition now? I think you told me 25 years,
I've
right?
never really practiced. I actually got my degree back
Okay.
when I was doing my MBA, and I've never really practiced. I've just always had a passion for it, and now it came in handy in the profession that I do now. So
Yeah, for sure. So, but you've also, you're also an industry millionaire in the health and wellness industry. How long have you been doing that for? Helping
11,
people feel amazing and be awesome, look awesome, and all that kind of good stuff.
11 years.
11 years. Okay, so obviously that all came in handy to help people, and I get it, right? Like you and I jive because our minds, we've chatted a little bit. I don't know you so personally well right now, but I can't wait to just dive in and get to know you even more. Just because of the short time that we have known each other, I'm like, yup, I can definitely see myself vibing with this person. She thinks the same way. She wants to help people. She leads with heart. And that's my people. I feel that vibe. So again, I appreciate you being here. So here's the goal tonight. The goal is that I want to share with people, you've obviously, you got your degree in nutrition, you took a passion in it. Obviously, you've lived the life. I'm sure you've tried a lot of different things, but share with us a little bit, like let's rewind a few years and then we'll get to where we are today. But take us back to that, like what started your passion with nutrition? What was that spark for you?
So I've always been into health and fitness. As a matter of fact, in the 6th grade, I joined my first gym. It was I'm really dating myself, but it was way back in the day where the name of the gym was Elaine Powers, the first woman of fitness.
Okay.
That was a very long time ago. So that goes all the way back to I've always been interested in fitness and nutrition. And when I was going to school, I got my MBA and I had to take some extra classes in something that was, just of interest to me. So I took some in nutrition, and as I was graduating, my guidance counselor tells me, if you take like 4 more classes, you can get a nutrition degree because you've done so much of these electives in nutrition that just get your degree. So I went ahead, I got my degree, never did anything with it, but have always had a passion for fitness and nutrition and the way food affects the body. So as I grew older, every single time a new system or diet or program would come out, I would read everything there is to know about it. I would read all the journals, all the publications. Back to the Atkins days. I remember I was a kid when my dad was doing Atkins in the 70s or 80s, and I was just a child, and I remember being so interested in ketosis. I read everything there was to know about it, and so one day I counted my library of books, and I had read over 130 books and publications on nutrition. So I've always had a passion, but I ended up becoming a CPA and never really used my passion until I got into health and wellness 11 years ago. And then it came in very handy when I started learning about the products that I was putting into my body.
Mm-hmm.
So then I came to these products 11 years ago. I had just had 2 babies, and I was just looking to feel better, more energy. I was feeling like frumpy and bogged down. And I came to, that's when I was introduced to the concept of nutritional cleansing. And I did a 30-day, cleansing and fat burning system. And it really gave me amazing results. At the time, I was down like 20 pounds in my first 30 days, and people started to ask me about it. And that's when I started helping people on these products. And it was great because then I started learning about the products, and I kind of merged my nutrition experience and started helping people with these systems and these products. And so, do you keep going or?
No, that's a crazy story. I mean, I wanted everybody to get to know you. I want people to know, our end goal is we want to share something that I know you believe the same as I do, that we have found something today that is unlike anything else that we've put our hands on. And my goal for this is I wanted people to know that you're a person that's coming from, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of hours of investing and studying. You've done your due diligence. You've been there. You've tried it. Like you said, you've tried have you tried a lot of the diets too? Like, were you like me? Like, I know, like everything, right?
I've read every book published of every diet. It started with Atkins, then Fit for Life, then the Mediterranean diet. Then I've read every book published on every diet and just fascinated with how food affects the body. So back 11 years ago when I was struggling with some stuff, even though I knew what to eat, I was feeling bogged down, I got into that cleansing world and I started learning about that intermittent fasting and cleansing. And that's how I got my initial results. And I was, for over 6 years, I was in the best shape of my life and I was the leanest I had ever been, well through my 40s. From 38 through 45, which is when people start to struggle, I was in the best shape of my life thanks to these products. I always preach balance. I was all about, yes, I ate clean, but I also enjoyed myself. So I would eat I would eat clean, healthy 50% of the time, but 50% of the time I would maybe not eat so clean, and I would definitely work out every single day. I was a spinning instructor. I've done a myriad of things in the exercise world. So I've always been very active. What happened was that after that, and this is how this ER shred came along, after the 6.5 years that I was feeling great, then like 44 hit, 45 hit. 45 is when I started realizing, something's off. Like I was 45 years old. I was still, eating and drinking and exercising the same way I always do. I would balance it. I just started putting some weight on. And so I went on this quest to try and find out what was going on with me hormonally or whatever. And I was breaking out. I remember my face was breaking out from the neck down. So they were telling me, oh, it has to do with hormones. So I went through a myriad of doctors, which all misdiagnosed me. And finally, the last few doctors really started to target it to this hormonal imbalance, brought about by perimenopause. And so I was already in the process a year before recently that I found this shred. I was already in the process of healing my own body because all these doctors had misdiagnosed me with hypothyroidism and PCOS and all these things that I didn't have because I've actually gone to doctors after that have told me, no, that's not correct. So I was already in the process of healing and I had already found some of these products that Sean started talking about. The way I found the ER shred is Sean started doing that. Do you want me to go into this now, or did you want me?
I mean, no. I just want whoosh. I love you. You're like a ball of energy. That's amazing. You might have more energy than I do, which is great. I always look for people that can go toe with energy. But yeah, I mean, as people come in, though, what I want to do is, we fired off, and what we're going to get into, guys, for those of you guys that are just joining us, first of all, say hi to us, drop into the comments, let us know where it is you're coming in from. I know you had somebody on there say, hi, Mama Bear, who was that? Not Shelly, Melissa Leahy, is shouting out to you, and Shelly's on, and Melanie's on. These are all shredders that have had amazing experiences themselves. And you guys might, I put this on my page, I put this on our group page, I put this on other pages. I didn't tell you because you told me you didn't like to go live. Surprise.
Don't tell me this is pre-recorded. Don't tell me it's live.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So for those of you coming in, Laura has had ridiculous results. And my point of wanting to get her to talk is I know there's so many of you out there that are struggling. I know I've coached people in health and wellness for 20 years myself. I've been through the ringer. Why I'm so passionate myself, Laura, is because people always look now and they see this ultra marathon runner and, you know, they see the muscles and, you know, it's something that I honestly forget about every day because it's been such a part of my life for so long. But what people don't realize and really why I'm so passionate is because I remember being a little fat kid growing up. I remember getting made fun of. I remember it messing with me big time. I remember not really even wanting to live. Like it felt so bad at sometimes. And fitness for me was like, that was my drug. You know what I mean? Like that was my way out. That's what made me feel better. It made me feel wanted. And that's the totally wrong thing, which I know now at 41, like I wanted to fit in. And I realize now it's all about fitting out, and that's a beautiful thing, right? We want to fit out. But you know, we want to talk about the ER shred and why Laura and I are so passionate and we're shouting it from the rooftops right now because over the last 8 weeks, we have literally watched hundreds of people. I'm talking male, female, athlete, older, younger, right? Like you've seen this with your own two eyes, and unless you've actually seen it, you're gonna think we're crazy. But I mean, people are literally coming alive. We have, you know, Sean and Crystal, good friends of Laura's and mine. Sean's like a brother to me. I've known him for a while now, and I know he had a health struggle. And, you know, they took a chance and put together this protocol, and it's science-based. You know, he calls me up, he tells me about it. I'm like, bro, you must lost your mind. And then I was like, but let me think about it. And then I thought back, right, Laura? And I thought back to what was the aha moment for me in my journey. It was when I understood the real power of food, not what the magazines were teaching me, not what the media was teaching me, not what my 1,262-page clinical nutrition book was teaching me. It was just the raw power of food and how to make food work for me and my body, right? And I put myself through elimination diets. Have you ever tried something like that in the past before yourself? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've been there, right? So I tried these elimination diets, all these things like, yeah, they're so hard. Like you know what I mean? Like it's crazy how hard it is. And when we talked about this little protocol that we are going to share with you guys, so stay tuned, please, because if you're struggling in any way and you're connected to Laura, you need to reach out to her tonight. If you're connected to me, you need to reach out to me tonight. If you're whatever, just reach out to us. Get in our group. Go to bodyalive.com or ER Shred on Facebook and get in there now if you're struggling in any way, because I guarantee you we have a solution. And Laura, you were at a point that despite knowing nutrition, despite working out every day, despite eating healthy, how many times do we hear that? I eat healthy. I eat healthy. I shop at Whole Foods and buy organic. I eat healthy, right? Despite that, where were you at? I think you're now what, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right?
We're going to be exactly 1 month tomorrow.
1 month. Okay, so you're 4 weeks.
Right.
4 weeks. Let's rewind back 4 weeks, if you will. And I know I'm going to ask you to be a little vulnerable, but you shared a little bit with me. You were pissed off, right? But really, what were you feeling? Because you were doing all these things that you thought to be right, but yet where were you at in life at that point in time?
Well, what I was telling you before like a month ago exactly, I was I had already eliminated so much, even though I've preached balance my whole entire life, like because I was able to be in the best shape of my life for over 6 years balancing. Yep. I have reached that, and I'm telling you, for the last 4+ years, I've, instead of eating 50% of the time, I'm up to 90% of the time. I was down to like 7 foods that I was having, including spinach, kale, fish, and veggies, pretty much. And I was feeling great. Not as great as I do now, but I was feeling good because my workouts were hard. I mean, I've never pushed harder than I was before I found this ER Shred. I was pushing hard at the gym, and I still, one of my, and it's, sharing the story is super vulnerable because it's when my little daughter, I shared it with Sean and Crystal too, when we were on vacation a few months ago, and she tells me, she looks at me and she's like, you know what, Mom, when I'm older, I don't think I'm going to do exercise or eat really, really healthy. And I'm like, Madison, why would you say something like that? She's like, Mom, because you're the healthiest eater in our family. And I see how you exercise so hard every day and you just keep getting bigger. So when she told me that, I was like, oh my God, like they're watching me do all the right things, yet they see, I'm like, I have to fix this problem because it's really affecting them. They were seeing me. We were on vacation for a month. We were away for a month, and they watched me eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They watched me work out every single morning. So when I saw Sean, he posted this video, and he just said some things that really like struck me, and I was like, oh my God. And then Crystal posted about her vegan vegetarian journey, and I was down to being a vegetarian. Like I was a pescatarian. I'm telling you, at this point, for the last, I'd say even now during quarantine, that everybody was like, oh, the quarantine 15. I decided when we first got locked down, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go to restaurants. I'm not going to go to parties, because we're very social people and we drink on weekends or whatever. I'm like, I'm just going to really concentrate on healing and my health. So I was down to like really eating well, and still wasn't getting the results that I wanted. So when I saw Sean talk about the elimination, first I was like skeptical, because I was like, oh God. First I thought, oh, this is probably keto. Like all you eat is, proteins, and I don't want the keto flu because it gives me bad breath and headaches, and I feel horrible when I'm in ketosis, and I just didn't want that. Then I started thinking, oh God, ER stands for elimination. Like I've done elimination diets. They're too hard. I'm all about balance. I preach balance. This is not for me. Then he said something like, I was super skeptical. Then it's something about the meats and the bacon and the butter. And I was like, gag. I don't do bacon. Bacon grosses me out. I haven't eaten meat for over 2 years. So I was, totally skeptical. But then I heard Crystal's little live video, or I think she said it on a call, and she was like, well, I was a vegan, I was a vegetarian, and this is what happens. And she starts talking about her skin and this and this and this, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what's happened to me.
Hardcore vegan.
Yes.
Hardcore.
I know. So when she was saying all those things that she was feeling when she was vegan, I was like, oh my God, that's how I feel. Maybe I should try this. So I jumped in very, very skeptical. And I mean, even the first day I was kind of like still skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't know, all this meat, all this grease, all this fat. But like Lenny says, I came alive by day 5. Like I remember the second or third day, my husband looks at me and he's like, oh my God, you shrunk. And my older daughter, she's like, Mom, what's interesting, this was after like about 5 or 6 days. She goes, what's interesting is that you never get my jokes. And lately you've been getting my jokes. So I always talk about this mental clarity, because I think that for me, I really needed those incubated shakes, because the incubated shakes I wasn't absorbing my nutrition before. I really wasn't. I mean, I actually got diagnosed finally, and with this last doctor, I got diagnosed with Cushing's, which affects my pituitary gland, which affects the way I'm absorbing my nutrition. So just the fact of the incubating shakes, now I'm flooding my body with this nutrition that I can use, and then being able to eliminate all the no soy, no wheat, no dairy, no corn, but in an easy way, because I was so satiated and everything was so delicious. Like I was so enjoying my filet mignon with lots of butter and my organic bacon. I never thought I would say it, but it was so enjoyable, and I was just shrinking and shrinking. And the way I felt, I can't even explain, like the way I feel now. I can't even explain. It's so much more than the scale. Obviously, it's the inch. I lost 21 inches at the end of the 11 days, which is amazing. But I haven't felt this way in about 5 years. Like just really, really good, very mentally clear. My skin has completely cleared up. It's just, I really think my body needed those good fats. I was really, really in need at my age of those really good fats, and it made all the difference in the world. So then I started, of course, the researcher, science geek that I am, I started like researching all this stuff, and then I started learning about, the detoxification, the fat adaptation, the autophagy. Oh my God. Then I just read this recent study that about autophagy. They actually tested this very, very obese with a group of 300 people that had an obese BMI, and they're trying to get them into autophagy. So they did like this diet for them where they were doing a lot of fasting, a lot of intermittent fasting. So anyway, by the end of the 8 months or whatever it was, what they found was that all these people that were doing the intermittent fasting, they lost tons of weight. I don't remember the numbers exactly, but one of the biggest findings was that they had no excess skin. They had surgeons on board to help all these people because they were going to lose all this weight. Surgeons on board to help people with extra skin, and they had no excess skin. And what the study was saying was that when you're in autophagy, your cells are regenerating, so it's like your body is eating up all the skin that it doesn't need, the fat that it doesn't need, so it's regeneration. And I just got so into that whole concept. I was like, oh my God, that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm in autophagy because my body is eating itself up. It sounds gross.
Isn't autophagy such like a, I think it's such like a sexy buzzword, right? Like
it is.
And for those of you that don't know what that means, the raw definition, the simple definition of autophagy is the eating of. It's literally the eating of. So it's when your healthy cells, right? We're full of trillions of cells, right? When your healthy cells are eating your bad cells, because sometimes you have lipid proteins that fold over inside your cells, not sometimes, all the time. And this is stress, toxicity, deficiency, obesity causes it, toxins from everyday living, and your body just gets sluggish. So when you can go into autophagy and allow your body to actually do what it was designed to do, this is what Laura's talking about, and it's magical. Like, it is magical, and you don't understand it until you experience it. And I don't want to let this slip, because people might have let this slip. Like, you blew it off like it was nothing. I need people to understand that in 11 days, 11 days, you lost 4 pounds, because you weren't in this for weight loss. You were in this for health. But your body released 21 inches. I need people to understand that for every 3 inches is somewhere around a pound of visceral body fat. So you lost 4 overall pounds, but your body released the dangerous inside organ fat that was stuck. And as we now know, this ER shred literally knocks the living hell out of chronic inflammation. Yeah. And it's one of the biggest things that it's such a scary. You were the one that worded it, right? You said, what did you say about inflammation? I need people to know. What's that?
That I said that inflammation doesn't weigh much, because I felt it. Like, I would feel my body, I would feel my abs, I would feel like, but I felt the inflammation. It's like, so when I lost, so in 11 days, when I only lost 4 pounds, if you think about it, I literally shrunk 21 inches all around my body. I literally shrunk. I could tell by my jeans. I was like, I dropped like 3 jean sizes. Yeah, like 3 jean sizes. So it's like, yeah, it was so much bloat and so much inflammation that had my body was in a state of, I don't know, havoc or whatever that's called. So the bloat and inflammation is big.
Yeah, don't get. I'm posting people's comments up just to, so if you see those little things on the screen.
Yeah, I see that.
People are sharing, like, Melanie, they're 18 pounds, 20 inches in 11 days. Of course, Sean popped in. He put in, awesome people, love you guys. Just wanted to make sure we put that up there. Somebody else had put in, they could totally relate to your story. They literally had, like, they researched how to reset hormone levels.
Yes.
And guys. When you already said that you were skeptical, you already, you were at a point where it's just like, okay, I give up. Like, basically that's what we have to get to, right? It's just like, I give up. Like, this has worked. Obviously Crystal, Sean, put themselves out there to the world. People thought they were freaking nuts. I was like, nope, we're going to roll with this. Like, I'm telling you, it makes sense. Like, I researched it. It just makes total sense, because we're eliminating and we're attacking chronic inflammation, right? We're resetting the body through nutritional cleansing and then boom, creating autophagy. We're regulating hormones. We're uploading HGH through the roof, which is good for hair, skin, nails. Have you seen any of that start to kind of
Oh my God, yes.
come back, a natural glow? Don't need the makeup. Like, it's crazy, right?
Especially my
Crazy.
skin. Hmm.
I know. Like, I love getting people to guess how old I am because nobody ever guesses I'm 41. I'm like, I love you. That's my response to them because they always guess like 10 years earlier. And I'm like, yes, I'm doing
Well,
it,
I'll be
right? So,
50 in a couple months.
well, girl, you
And
don't look 50 years old. That's for sure.
thank you. My skin honestly has never looked better. And when Crystal was talking about her skin issues, it's so true. When I was a vegan vegetarian, my skin has never been worse.
Interesting. Interesting. You know, guys, we don't have time to get into why, but Laura, I've shared some things with her. She knows, like, we want to respect the time and get you the goods, but we want to also invite you every Wednesday. We do a team call that you can come in. We post up the link. It's on Zoom. You can come in. You can hear live testimonials. You can get a really in-depth explanation where I break down the elimination aspect, the reset aspect, the shred aspect, why we use meat, why we use incubated shakes, why specifically these, because let's be honest, they're not all created equal. And Laura and I have done our research. I mean, we're talking peer-reviewed, published research stuff here. So this isn't just something that's like thrown together with like a whim. And we got way too many results now for anybody to argue. I mean, somebody tries to argue with me, I'm like, you can't argue results, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't argue results. And we have hundreds of them now, hundreds in 8 weeks. And it's just, I mean, I forgot how many countries, like how many countries has this spread to in literally 8 weeks? And people from all over the world now are doing what I wish every human being could feel every day, and that's just alive. I think we deserve to feel awesome every day. I could see your abs popping through your before picture. You could see the
They were
inflammation.
trying hard to pop through, but
So many athletes I know, Laura, struggle, and it's hard. It's hard as a nutrition trained person. It's hard as an athlete. It's hard from a medical background to be like, to let your brain actually let this sink in. But I want to just commend you for having the courage to actually just say yes. And I love that about you. Like, I haven't gotten a chance to tell you that, but that's actually one of my favorite things that I've gotten to know about you, is that somebody that just dives in, and that's why you're a massive leader. You lead thousands of people. You set the example. Like, I know why. Like, you have the courage to go first, and you had that courage, and look what it did. And I'm so happy that this brought you those results. What would people are asking, like, what's next for you, Laura? And, what would you recommend to somebody who's stuck, or, is kind of on the fence, or, maybe it's, they read this and they saw this and, oh, plants this. Well, what would you say to all these people about the ER shred? Give them a little tip or advice if you could.
one thing I really wanted to say about the shred was the reason why this has spread to so many countries, and we're getting hundreds. I mean, that Facebook group, it's like every single minute you're getting people's great results. Why? Because it's so easy, you guys. It's so easy. And so many times, like, I come from that nutrition world where, okay, you're allergic to something. Oh, okay, let's figure it out. Let's put you on this elimination diet. Well, that's not easy. This is really so easy. The way that this is designed, you're getting the incubated shakes are delicious. Like, for me, someone asked, where do I see myself next? Honestly, I've been doing 11-day shreds for the whole month because I really haven't gotten off the incubated shakes. I'm still having my yummy fats and my animal proteins. If I feel like having like a fish few days, like the other day, I went 2 whole days having fish because I really love salmon and I love shellfish. So I had my salmon and my shellfish and all that. And I would add fats. I added the ghee. I just feel like my body does need the fats. I have incorporated some avocados here and there, but nothing big. It's just, everyone needs to listen to their own bodies. And that's what's so empowering about doing this. I have just like the other day, I did the rice. I really wanted to try, even though I didn't crave the rice, I just wanted to try some rice. And I had a little bit of rice. And then what I did, instead of having rice with a big steak with lots of butter, I had my rice with my salmon. And it's just making those little changes. And like I say, nothing is forbidden. If you feel after the 11 days that you must go back to your big bowls of vegetables or rice or, you know, whatever, then do that, but add it in and see how you feel, because you might find that you don't like the way you feel when you add that. So maybe try something else. And that's what I recommend for going forward. I love eating this way. And even though people say, oh, but don't you get tired? Don't you just get, no, because if I would get tired of it, I'll have like a seafood day, or I'll have, you know, whatever. And if I feel like having rice, I'll have rice. And if, you know, it's all about a balance. And then I wanted to say that anybody that's skeptical, again, this makes it so easy, because people say, oh, this is like keto. No, you're not going into ketosis because you're having over 40 grams of carbs in the shakes alone. You need, for keto, even especially the inception phase, you need less than 20 grams of carbs. So you're not getting that crazy. People talk to me about the headaches and the dry mouth and not feeling great. You're not really getting that. And that's why this is so easy, because you're getting your perfect macronutrients in that shake. And then all your other meals are the delicious stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, you know, you hit the nail on the head. Like, you know, I'm going to actually we have a big group one coming up on, you know, we're going to call it the post-Turkey Day Shred. And I'm super excited because I convinced Sean to go hardcore with me, and we're going to like try to lead it, you know, from 11:20. We're not going to try, we're going to do it. That's a stupid word that I use. We're going to do it from 11:28 to 12:08. I'm excited. I just ran my ultra this past weekend. That's out of the way. I don't have to worry about thank you. I don't have to worry about any crazy training, although I'm going to go hard. Like when I came in 6 years ago and tried these products that you tried, these systems, I was out to prove it wrong, and I put it through. I did what's called the Spartan Death Race while I was doing these products, which is a 3-day long, self-supported, don't sleep, crazy race. I did something called the Georgia Death Race, which is like 77 miles, and I forgot how much elevation up and down. So, I mean, I put this through the ringer, but even myself, you know, as I go through different stages, from when I went from bodybuilding to obstacle course racing to ultra marathon running, you know, now I'm at a point in life, Laura, and I got to be honest, like, I got so good from practicing and failing so much of doing the elimination and finding the foods that work best for me. And what people don't realize is that you hit the nail on the head like this. One of my biggest fears was that I don't believe in fad diets. I will not back a fad diet. I'm like you. I preach balance. But I've also come to learn that things that we think are normal, we may just have been lied to. Yeah. We may have been lied to. Shocker, but we may have been lied to. You know, for instance, the recommended daily servings of fruits and vegetables. Okay. Most people don't realize that came from a meeting in 1991, and there was not one scientist or one nutritionist present at that meeting. The whole point of the meeting was how to get people to eat more, and they came up with this recommendation. Now, do I think there's a place for vegetables? Hell yeah, because I'm a science geek, and science says so, and I listen to science. But I also think there's a lot of other ways to get those amazing vitamins A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, right? Through stuff like Moringa and, you know, our incubated shakes. And then we're going back to our ancestral roots and we're fueling the body. If you look, the difference between ketosis and fat adaptation is so different. It's so different because I can eat a carb now and my insulin is so sensitive that my body will, boom, process it. And within a matter of no time, I'm back into fat adaptation. And you have to eat more animal fats and eat more good quality animal proteins. And look, you just come alive. Like, don't knock it till you try it, baby. Don't knock it till you try it. You know what I mean? You can sit there and say, how do I get this? And how do I get that? Like, you got a million questions. Just try it. Just try it. Like Laura did, just try it. And you never know. And we're asking you for 11 days, right? I think people get that mixed up. This is 11 days. But have you found it to be pretty interesting to watch people? We got to wrap this up too. I know you have another call to get on. Haven't you found it interesting? We have people now in 2, 3, 4. They're adapting the lifestyle. Do you know how hard it's been for me over 20 years of coaching people to get them to adapt the lifestyle of healthy and actually make it make sense to their life? And then this is why I can't sleep at night. Like, this is why I have trouble, because so many, look at all the freaking comments and stuff. Like, so many people are just feeling amazing now. And I tried so many ways to help them.
Yeah.
So
that whole concept of fat adaptation for me is so mind blowing, because like it's the reason why all these people are, you know, so like excited about this and feeling great, and oh my God, now I've adopted this lifestyle and I feel so empowered and whatever, is because that whole fat adaptation thing, it really, I feel like it switches your body so that you don't have these cravings. You don't need all this stuff anymore. You can have it, and once in a while, like you said, you can have it, but your body's adapted to go right back into that fat adaptation. So yes, I think it's just a brilliant concept, and it's easy, and people, that's why I say just try it for 11 days. Then after, you decide. You decide.
And I don't know if you can see the comment that I have up, but Dr. Glenn,
yes.
Him and his wife, both physicians, they did it. Dr. Glenn lost 13.4 pounds in his shred. I think I got that number right. I think I remember that right. There's been a lot going on here. But I just wanted to post that up because they're behind it. They're recommending it. His practice, I read somewhere, he used to work with people identifying food allergies. And it was funny how people used to crave different food allergies that they actually shouldn't have had. Like, that was a bad food, but they would crave that food. And I hope to get Glenn on one of these things so they can kind of break down even more mumbo jumbo science, and because I geek out on that stuff, and get us to learn more. But I mean, you've dropped so much, Laura. You know, again, I want to give you your time, and I love that you've been here. I totally appreciate it. I hope everybody got some amazing value from that. Again, we invite you to our call. The website scrolling across the bottom, ershred.com. We launch our next official shred on 11/28. So get your turkey on, and then come shred with us. Come shred with us, because it will light you up like you've never been lit up before. You would just feel amazing. That flush of ketones and your body utilizing that fat and all those stored calories, like, you are just going to feel so freaking good. And things are going to, you know, we're not going to say, we can't cure, treat, prevent disease or anything like that. But here's the thing. Laura and I both believe that the human bodies are the most fascinating things ever created. And if you just give the body a fighting chance, the body will heal itself. And that fighting chance is quality nutrition at a cellular level. And that's what this does, right? 4-part system, boom, puts it all together for you, takes the guesswork out. And then this group that we keep talking about, come join us. We have 19.1 thousand people in that group. And you want to talk about the family culture, the support, we have doctors, we have nutritionists, we have herbalists, we have athletes, non-athletes, we have all walks of life just there to help you and love on you and support you to get you through this. And we do it together as a team. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that we actually have going for us. Don't you agree?
Yeah, so much fun. So much fun in that group.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Laura, listen, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you so much, and you and I will chat real soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right, friend. Have an awesome night. Bye, guys.
Thank you.